Corrosive here with Signals Everywhere, and if you're interested in using your software-defined radio with an HF long wire antenna or shortwave antenna, you're likely going to be in need of a 1:9 Balun. A company known as Nooelec has provided one of these Baluns pretty affordably on their website for several years now. However, I happen to be the lucky winner of a contest in which Nooelec has provided several people with new unreleased products. One of those happened to be, you guessed it, a new version of their 1:9 Balun. In today's video, I'll be showing you the differences between the two Baluns and whether or not it's worth waiting for the new one to be publicly released. If you're interested in radio communications in general and of course software-defined radio, please be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos. Let's first take a look at the original Nooelec 1:9 Balun. You can see we have a basic transformer and some input protection, as well as these very nice push-down connectors. I always kind of liked these because it made it incredibly simple to connect my antenna, whether that was some ladder line or a long wire antenna and a ground. You simply push down and insert the connection you need. The downside with this type of connector is that it does tend to be a little easier for these connections to fall out or come loose during operation. Nooelec's version 2 of the 1:9 Balun, as you can see, has some major upgrades, the first one being a Colpitts WB9-1 transformer. Looking at the datasheet for the transformer found on the Balun, you'll see that this is a Colpitts WB9-1. This is a high-quality transformer with 500 volts inner winding isolation, which means essentially that you're going to have very good RF input protection. These are also capable of quarter-watt RF input power, meaning that in theory, you should be able to transmit through this Balun at very low power levels, great for software-defined radio use. It uses a core ferrite material as well as being incredibly wideband. Now, I wasn't able to pin down the exact model number within the datasheet. However, it appears that we should have the capability of running this anywhere between 1.5 to potentially 500 megahertz, giving us a very wide dynamic range that we may not have seen fully with the original 1:9 Balun. One of my favorite features on the new 1:9 Balun is the fact that we now have mounting holes as well as some grounding rails along either side of the Balun, meaning that more than likely we're probably going to see this available in a premium model that also includes a case to keep some RFI out of our signals. We also have several devices that we can use interchangeably for our antenna connection input, and unlike the usual push buttons that we have on the original, we now have connectors with screw terminals to ensure that once our wire is inserted, it does not accidentally fall out. Let's go ahead and move over to the SDR Sharp software and fire this up with an HF discovery board and take a look at the actual RF spectrum we have. What you're looking at now is using the original 1:9 Balun, and you see that it does do a pretty good job. This is being fed with some 400 ohm ladder line up to a dipole antenna of random length. We're currently looking at the 160 meter ham band, and like I said, it is doing a fairly good job. Now let's go ahead and switch over to the Nooelec 1:9 Balun version 2. Switching over to version 2 of the 1:9 Balun, you can see we are getting pretty similar results. Again, this is at about 160 meter amateur radio band. Let's go ahead and move up into the 80 meter band and do the same comparison again. Once again, we'll start out with Nooelec's original 1:9 Balun, and you can see we seem to be getting some pretty good results. However, I will admit that propagation was not in my favor tonight, and I didn't see as much activity on 80 meters as I would generally on some other days. But the Balun is certainly doing its job. Now that we can see that this is working, let's move over to the brand new version 2 1:9 Balun. Here we are on the version 2 of the Nooelec 1:9 Balun, and you see we are still getting pretty familiar and similar results. Now, that's not to say that the newer Balun isn't better than the original, because it most certainly is in quite a number of factors. However, if you're looking into the market today for a 1:9 Balun and you're asking yourself, should I get the one that's currently available or should I wait for the new one, my recommendation, at least at the moment, is go ahead and get the current revision. You're really not going to have a problem with the original 1:9 Balun, and it gets the job done quite well. This being said, the The current 1 to 9 Balun does not have an option to place it inside any type of housing or case. The new version you can either case yourself, or I have a suspicion that Nooelec is more than likely going to sell one of these Baluns in a case as well, and that is where I believe this is really going to shine, because not only do you have the ability to easily connect and disconnect your antenna while also ensuring that it doesn't fall out accidentally, you also have the ability to place it into a case and prevent some of that additional RFI from getting into your signal. And I can assure you that this will make the difference, especially in a shack that has a lot of RF energy floating around in the room. So it really is dependent on your personal needs, but I have to say, whether you go with the original 1 to 9 Balun or you wait for the new one to be released, you're in good hands with Nooelec in regards to their Baluns. They get the job done well, and I have no doubt that you'll have a great experience either way you go. Today's video was brought to you by, of course, all of the patrons on the Signals Everywhere patrons channel over at signalseverywhere.com/Patreon. You are the guys who actually get in there and help fund the show and help me keep moving forward. For those of you wondering where the content has been the last 2 weeks, I've had a ton of things going on in my life, but I can tell you that I am ready to hop back in the saddle and get things moving forward again. However, I would like to note that this may become a bi-weekly release schedule. We'll see what happens, but I may not do a new release every single week, purely to ensure I have times for things like the podcast, as well as my family, of course. So I appreciate all of you for watching this video. Please be sure to give it a like if you enjoyed it, and share it if you know anyone who may be interested in seeing a video regarding HF Baluns, and I will see you all in the next one.